All right, guys. I'm very tired right now. I've been up for too long. I've been consuming a lot of schizophrenic information. I've got some coffee here. It's pepped me up a little bit. Um, but I'd like to wait until I'm rested to do this. But I really feel like I've got to do it now. If I sleep on it, I'm gonna forget all this stuff that's swirling around in my mind. First of all, this is something I've been meaning to get to, but I keep putting it off. I'll just play the beginning of this. This is Yasana TV. It's a great channel. I highly recommend it. You should check it out.
Good morning. Just wanted to give you a quick tip. If any of you were considering baby chicks, springtime, raising your own flock, getting into your own sustainability, there is legislation in the works right now that's threatening the ability to have fowl, chicks, ducks, whatever, to be shipped across state lines. So that very well could be going away, these hatcheries that get to ship to you via mail or get sent to Tractor Supply Chick Days or to your local feed shops, fresh weekly, daily, day-old chicks. That is being threatened right now. So if you do plan on being more self-efficient, I would suggest you go to your shop and get a list of chicks that are coming in right now and get on it. I have to go pick up some feed, and I was just...
All right, so I can't confirm that. I tried to find like a news article or something, literally anything. So and with minimal research, I couldn't confirm it. But I take her word for it, and I believe it. I went and because I do line breed my birds, but I like to put new genes in the flock every year. And yeah, I saw that a couple days ago. I bugged out and went straight to the feed store, bought some chickies, and they wanted my ID for them. They needed my ID, and I asked the lady, so is that like a store policy or is that like the government that wants that? And she didn't know. She didn't know anything. So whatever. They can have my ID. I know the county sheriff's not going to come bother me. If some federales want to come around, then we can figure that out later. But I'm not too worried about it. Some people might should worry about it depending on where you live. Um, but yeah, that's that. It's 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 ridiculous. Anyway, I won't spend much time on that. So this guy, uh, I can't stand him. Um, but there's a lot of good info in this video if you read between the lines. Now I did say before um, that I don't think there's like a grand conspiracy here. Um, I think that the what happened is lobbies and labor cuts and cutting corners. I feel like there's a lot of corruption and greed and just incompetence. Uh, I felt like that was the cause of all of this. But now, having watched this jackass talk about this film, I'm sold. All right, it's a grand conspiracy. We're all we're all I shouldn't say we're all screwed, but they're fucking us. How about that? We're all getting fucked. um, so I'm gonna play just a bit of this, and then I've got some things set aside that we're gonna go over without this dude, because a lot of this is really nonsense. Some of it is more interesting than other bits of it, but here we go.
Calendar. Because the Ohio train derailment, which happened on 2/3, February 3rd, 2023, is exactly 2 months and 23 days away in the calendar. 2 months and 23 days between the events of the Chernobyl disaster and the Ohio disaster.
Now, see, that's an interesting synchronicity there, but I could write that off as just, the God winking at us through the cosmos to those who realize that such things occur. And I suppose I should touch on this. There are two. Well, I suppose there are three kinds of people who believe in synchronicity. There are the folks who believe what I just said, which is that this is sort of divine orchestration, and then there are people who believe that it's all. There's the materialist perspective, where they believe that this is all the work of man, and like it's the Illuminati encoding all this shit into like films and stuff and events and what have you. And then there's the third, which is where I'm at, which is I would say is the more realist perspective, that both of these things occur. And unless I see reason to believe otherwise, I tend to believe that it's not the work of man. But in this case, I do believe that there's something going on here, that someone is having a giggle.
So that's 322 backwards. Remember, 2-3, February 3rd, 2023, 2323. So the events are related in the calendar, as you can see here. February 3rd to April 26th is when the Chernobyl disaster happened. Wow. Now, before I play these white noise decodes from...
Quote, decodes. Let me see if I can... Okay, he's going to get ready.
Before the Ohio train derailment, understand that the real event happened 70 days after the movie released. The real event happened 70 days after White Noise released. And they're telling us that there were 70 agencies involved in this. 70 agencies. So we have another numerical synchronicity.
Nonsense, in my opinion.
Now, what I've done is I came back a couple days ago and I put together all of the train derailment sequences in the movie White Noise from 2022. And I'm putting that together for you right now. There's a little bit of extra stuff in here, but this is just from a couple days ago. I'm putting together these train derailment scenes, and this is chilling. The movie opens with a statement about staged crashes.
Now that was the first part that really got my attention. So that's why I want to let this crash scene play. There's also some weird stuff going on where they juxtapose Elvis and Hitler, which is kind of awesome. But let's hear it.
Let me check in with you guys, and then we're going to get into this. This is nuts. Staged crashes. Okay, looks like we're good. Now this is the opening of the film. Watch and listen.
The people who stage these crashes are able to capture a lightheartedness, a carefree enjoyment that car crashes in foreign movies can never approach.
Now, the backdrop of this guy is a professor, okay, at a school. I think he's actually at like a high school. And these people think they're so smart, and so they give these lectures. And watch again.
The people who stage these crashes are able to capture a lightheartedness, a carefree enjoyment that car crashes in foreign movies can never approach.
So this cringy, explanation of staged car crashes and how.
Now this part is like I said, this is what caught my attention, but this gets real trippy when we get when we get a little deeper into the film, and I'm not gonna have this guy explain all that. Once we get past the car crash stuff, I think I'm done with this guy, and we're gonna go to like some screenshots that I took, and I'll just explain. I'll explain it myself, but I'll go ahead and let him finish this crash stuff. He's gonna talk about these numbers and stuff, and I'm not really with them on that. It seems like a bit of a reach on these numbers. He reaches a lot.
Now, the American culture loves to watch a staged car crash in Hollywood, but now we're seeing the complete context of this, aren't we? Now, that was Don Cheadle, I think he's like a comedian actor guy. He's in the movie. And again, this is the movie White Noise from 2022, if you're just tuning in. Now, then we get the train approaching. And here's the number of the train, 3010. And you can almost make out the date of the crash that had not happened yet, which is 2323. 1 and 1 is 2, 3, 2, 3. Now, I know it's not exact, but these things are manifesting on a spiritual level. Because if this would have said 7, 4, then there is no 2, 3 and 2, 3 and 7, 4, is there? So it's hinting at 2, 3. Now, let's keep watching. There's your toxic chemicals. The train approaches an intersection. The guy driving a truck is approaching the intersection as well. It's a 45-mile-an-hour zone. I'm not sure what significance that might have, but the guy's drinking Jack Daniels.
Based.
How familiar this all seems to us.
How familiar this all seems to us. Adam Driver says, and very quickly you're going to...
I don't know if he says it in the portion of this video that we're going to watch, but deja vu and premonition are a theme of this White Noise film. So that's pretty wild. And I'll touch on this again later.
You're going to understand that the theme in the movie is deja vu, future deja vu, premonitions, things that haven't happened yet. Now, the crash scene in this movie appears and occurs amidst the backdrop of this poetic face-off between two of the teachers in front of the students, Don Cheadle versus Adam Driver, and they're basically giving some kind of poetic delivery, explaining Elvis and comparing Elvis to Hitler. Watch this. Adam Driver is the Hitler studies teacher. Don Cheadle is talking Hitler about studies. Elvis. You heard him say death. And all this is happening during the train approaching the intersection, about to hit the orange truck. Red train, orange truck. So, flammable liquids. Now, look, we're not going to be able to cover all of the synchronicities going on with this event. Someone was telling me that the two contaminants in the real event formed mustard gas. There's all kinds of things that we're not going to be able to cover. So please forgive me if I don't get to every detail of this. But if I were to do that, we would literally be on here all day. And that would just be too much information. But leave comments below so everyone can see. I encourage everyone to read through the comments. We have a very rich comment section here on this channel. There's so much feedback. Most of the feedback that comes in through the comments I use for the next day's or the next following week's shows. So you can become part of the process of learning and exposing this stuff. Let's keep watching. But needless to say, they're having a debate comparing and contrasting Elvis and Hitler. And so I was looking for a connection between Elvis and Hitler and the real train derailment. Let's keep watching.
Thousands of uniformed mourners. Crowds came to form a shield against their own dying. To become a crowd is to keep out death.
Now, this is cringy because as he's talking about Hitler, it all hit me. Lisa Marie Presley's birthday was 2 days before the train derailment in Ohio.
I don't see what relevance this has.
There were ranks and squadrons, elaborate backdrops, blood banners, and black dress uniforms.
This is just crazy. Now, what does that mean? 2 days before. Is there a connection? I don't know. But this movie came out in 2022, long before Lisa Marie Presley died, long before she was sick. And now we have this weird connection. Now, I'm not sure about the Hitler connection and what that might mean, other than the fact that Elvis died at 42 years old, and Hitler's birthday is on 420. Actually, yeah, it is 420. Is it 420 or 421?
It's
I always forget.
To break off from the crowd is to risk death as an individual, to face dying alone.
So there's the crash, the derailment. Now, here's what you're going to notice.
He doesn't pick up on this, but the statement about herd mentality there, as this guy's ranting about Hitler or Elvis or whatever the hell he's talking about exactly. That's pretty interesting. To form a crowd is to, what did he say? Protect yourself from death or something, and then to break off from the crowd is to risk death. It's nonsense. But you can see the picture that they're attempting to paint there, that the direction is attempting to paint.
The derailment was allegedly, in real life, caused by a faulty train axle. A lot of people saw it on fire for miles and miles and miles before it actually derailed. Sparks were coming out from the axle. Well, the truck hits the train. I mean, this might be a bit of a stretch. The truck's axles hitting the train. Could have been a connection there. Maybe not. You're also going to notice that the train crash precedes the fire. So the crash happens first, and it doesn't immediately catch on fire. Now, that did happen in real life exactly as it did in the movie. Watch. So remember, the train crash happened 2 days from Lisa Marie's birthday. Now, the obvious that I probably should state, because many of you are not following the story very closely yet, is that this white noise film was actually filmed in the exact area where the train crash would occur. It was filmed there. And there were actually actors that live in East Palestine. There were actors in this film.
Hey, what's up, Cozy Keck? Thanks for dropping by, man. It's been a while.
So there, you see, there's no fire yet. The spill starts to happen, which is exactly what happened in real life. And then they decided to light it on fire in real life, didn't they? Because they needed to get this the train lines moving. They didn't really care about the environmental impact. Think about this for a second. Theatrically, they could have just had the whole thing blow up in flames when the truck hit it, right? But they didn't.
He makes a decent point.
All right.
I don't know if it means anything,
We've
but
run into this.
it's a decent point. But we're pretty much done here. Let me... Oh god, I accidentally opened Steam. Hopefully it doesn't lag everything out. Let me get this next part open. Now these screenshots aren't terribly big. Oh Christ. Here, we'll do it this way. Alright, so what I was talking about before about the deja vu and premonition, he says, it's this guy talking, he says, why do we think these things happened before? Simple, they did happen before, in our minds, as visions of the future. Sorry, I'm getting there. I didn't have everything lined up. So this whole like premonition thing, the deja vu stuff. Sorry, let me make sure I'm still live. My other screen is okay. I think we're still going. I got a little worried there for a second. Where was I? Oh, right. It's a white noise, right? Why would you name this film White Noise? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I know it's based on a book called White Noise, but why is that called White Noise? Well, I don't know, but there is an older film called White Noise, wherein a man's wife dies at 2:30, and then periodically at 2:30 o'clock, her voice will come through like the static on electronic devices and speak to him. And eventually, she starts telling him about things that have not happened yet, uh, which is wild, right? So you have another white noise with the major theme being premonition, and throughout the course of the film, he's able to sort of change the outcome of some of these events, but ultimately he's killed by, I don't know, like white noise demons or something weird. I didn't watch it, so I don't exactly know, but it's something like that. But 2:30, right? 2/3, February 3rd, right? Which is the date that, if you remember at the start of the stream when he went over, or if you've been paying attention, that's when the train crashed. Is what I'm saying. So you got the 2/3 there in the other white noise film as well, and you've got the premonition stuff. And then, so in the newer white noise, the mother, the female main character, she's signed up for this experimental drug trial to cure her fear of death, and she's about to take a pill. She's about to take her experimental like anti-death fear pill, which is really retarded. But even in even in the movie, it's retarded. Like she ends up claiming that it doesn't work or whatever. But in this scene where she's about to take this pill, this song starts to play. There's no difference between the blue and the red. So we have red juxtaposed with blue as she's eating a pill. So you're instantly going to think red pill, blue pill. I mean, if you're me, at least you're instantly going to think that. Now, what does that mean? The red pill is this. There's no difference between the red pill and the blue pill. So the real and the fake are the same. The reality and the simulation, there's no difference between them according to this song. That's sort of the message that I'm picking up from that. And then the next line in that song that immediately follows that, the cloud is coming. Now, this song was clearly written. We're going to go over the lyrics because there's some other weird stuff in there. This song is clearly written about this film or the book or whatever. It was written in 2022, so it was probably made for the film. But the cloud is coming. So they're running from the cloud in the movie. So that works within the context of the film. But you add that with the previous line and the pill, and there's no difference between the reality and the simulation. The cloud is coming. Is that too schizo there, or is that just perfect? Because I don't know. I think that's just the way it works. I think that's just what they're trying to say. So here's the song. It's called "The Cloud Is Coming" by Dean Wareham and Britta Phillips. And so niodine D is the name of the chemical that was in the tanker in the film. So that's why I'm positive that this was made for this movie, to go along with this story. But you see here, line 2, the 90 dogs are here to stay. So the 90 dogs, that's like a metaphor for niodine D, and it's here to stay. So, you can read into that if you want, but this is the important bit. The government knows more than they say, and they aren't saying a whole lot. They're keeping pretty quiet about this. And then the next line, UFO sightings in Farmington Town. Like, why do we jump to UFOs all of a sudden? And we're having this big like balloon flap where, there's balloons or whatever getting shot down like every day there for a while. We had a new unknown balloon thing and scrambling jets and all of that. And the White House is making statements. The press secretary lady, she said twice now that this has nothing to do with aliens. The more you say that, the more I think that there's some alien stuff going on. But that's really weird, the UFO thing, because a lot of people are, just making memes or whatever. But and then there's Milex suits, like hazmat suits. This whole song is just wild. It's all over the place. Here's the red and the blue. The cloud is coming. And then we've got, they put a human brain into a chimp, which that's another thing this guy talks about. Apparently there's another movie that's tied into all this, and he really didn't explain too much about that. But I'm sort of lost in the weeds myself here. They say the simian tried to speak. 2 of the men at the switching yard are dead. So that's the switching yard. That's where they switch the train tracks over. Exactly as we feared. A chopper flew into the toxic cloud and never reappeared. So, like I said, this song is real weird. The UFO thing and the government thing are the weirdest parts. Um, I thought I grabbed something about the monkeys, man. Oh, like I said, I'm way too tired to be doing this. Oh yeah. So this is on a shelf in the attic in one of the scenes. Got a close up of these books. Not of This World is the top book. The Occult, A History, Witches and Witchcraft. And then we've got the monkey thing going on, which he believes calls back to that monkey movie that he was talking about, where they mentioned Casablanca, and they mentioned Casablanca in this movie. And I think he's right. I think they are saying something about that movie. He doesn't really explain what he's talking about with this monkey. I want to say like monkey slip or something weird. I don't know, man. Uh, but yeah, I suppose that's all I got. If you want a bit of good news, turkey farms spared so far from avian flu. It's mostly been seen in swans, geese, ducks, and raptors. As far as Michigan is concerned, anyway. Um, Nothing going on in the chat. Let me just review. Oh yeah, here's another thing on the monkeys. So she's reading a tabloid. Human brain put in chimp, which is a line from that song, which probably harkens back to that other film. Uh, yeah, I suppose that's it. I'm just gonna end it now, rather than sit here and ramble on. But yeah, I'm gonna go get some sleep, guys. Thanks for tuning in to my top secret schizo stream. If you want, there's a link to this guy, this whole hour and a half of mostly nonsense. At one point, at one point, he makes the claim that all phone booths are scale models of the World Trade Center. Dude, I about lost my fucking mind when he said that. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. But there's also a link to these lyrics. And if you want to read between the lines on this guy and sort of see if you can find out anything of value to you from your perspective, links down there. Go right ahead. Have a great time, and thanks for stopping by.